read the instructions. In fact, read between the lines. And then make sure you're following everything they're asking you for. Everything. I had to apply 3 times, not because the school kept refusing me, but my application was not good. It was not good. The more I go back and look at my various applications, I realize, that was terrible. I'm not surprised they didn't admit me on the first 2 tries.
For a PhD, that was also different. So I had like the plan in place, the study plan, and the research plan. So if you know the people, think of who you want to work with. If you don't know, go on the website of the university, study the profiles of the people, and think maybe from there you can get someone that you can supervise you. And after that, just apply.
And so I applied. Basically, what I did was I uploaded my information. I had a small video, pretty much like what we're doing right now. And I uploaded it on YouTube. They had a look at it, and seems like they liked what I had to offer. And yeah, we had an interview.
Let me just make it clear here that applying for a permit in Finland, if you have all the requirements, it's not hard at all. You just have to follow the instructions, and the instructions are very clear online.
I think the most important things that you needed there was proof of funds. You also needed an offer letter. You also obviously needed a valid passport, and as well as the criminal record, they do it themselves. So I didn't need to submit that. So basically, those things are what I needed to show.
So first and foremost, you should know where you're supposed to go for your permit interview. Unfortunately, Ghana, you will have to travel all the way to Nigeria for your permit interview.
So you do an online application, and then you'd have to go to the embassy in Pretoria so that they process your documents there. So I went to the embassy in Pretoria, where I submitted my documents. And I think 2 or 3 days later, I actually got the visa.
You can easily then, in that 3 or 4 years that you spend here as a student, look for opportunities where you can then upgrade your visa to a working visa or just a permanent residence one.
Do as much research as you can about a country. Figure out how the cost of living is, compare with where you are, figure out how the salaries look like, ask people online.
If you want to talk about Finland culture, then it was a cultural shock. I come from a place where I greet everybody from young to old, and then you come here and you greet and no one responds, and you're like, okay, what is that?
No one is going to pat you on the back and congratulate you for being early. It's no achievement here. It's just expected, of everyone that if the meeting is at 1 o'clock, everybody's there at 5 to latest, and by 1 o'clock, everybody's just seated and they start.
There's a great amount of videos that you can watch, so many resources to learn about a certain country before you move. And I would ask about Finland, and they gave me their honest opinion. So I wasn't so, obviously you'd be shocked to some extent when you come through because it's a culture shock, but then I expected some of the things because I'd already asked about them.
And people are very, very shy, not very talkative. So you have to go ready to understand that silence it doesn't mean that people are not sympathetic. It just means that people don't need so much to speak and feel comfortable with silence. So
it's just a cultural thing that people like their space, and I've also grown to adapt to that. I now also want my space, and every time when I visit South Africa or Zimbabwe, etc., I actually feel like I'm being crowded.
Trying to meet as many other people as possible, whether they be locals or expats. Just really widening your network. That's one thing that I really find a huge value here, is that you can, for example, I play football 2 or 3 times a week, and the people that I play with, they're from all over the world.
So if someone is coming for first-time studies, I would really encourage them that they mix with people before the winter comes, because you need those people to carry you through the winter. And I think at times it's difficult to break in to the communities right at the start, but then once you are accepted and trusted, obviously, things become easier.
With time, you can create friends among Finnish. It's possible, and there are people very warm, very kind, and very respectful.
I won't lie, the winters are harsh, they are cold, and they are long. From November, around about end of October, through to mid-January, it's dark. So the sun comes out at around 10 a.m. and it sets around 3 p.m.
You have to go prepared to buy warm clothes in Finland. Don't buy it in Africa. You think you buy good clothes in Africa for winter, but it can be useful for autumn, but not for winter in Finland. So you have to take some money to invest in a very good jacket, for polar jackets. So buy it in Finland. They are ready for that. Very good gloves, 2 pair of gloves.
The language is not so easy. They do understand, the Finns themselves do understand that their language is not the easiest. And I think in the university setup, you're okay, because being an international institution, English is the medium of communication and so on. But then when you go into a shop and you want to buy stuff, it's a bit difficult. I have to rely on, at first I used to check on Google Translate, but then you get tired. So now I just look at the pictures. If I see a cow, then I know it's beef. If I see a pig, then I know it's pork. You know that sort of thing.
Have a very good look at your finances when you come here. Really try to understand and have a look at, for example, something as simple as the price of bread. In comparison with South Africa, where we pay, I guess, around 15 Rand right now in 2021, where here you probably be looking at double that. Data, for example, that is actually the opposite. Here in Finland, you can basically have a very good plan for unlimited phone calls, unlimited internet, unlimited text messages, and so forth. For very affordable prices. I believe for about 600 Rand, you can have unlimited everything.
The basic infrastructures, they exist and they are for free. Health, education, transport is not expensive too.
Public transportation is so excellent in Helsinki. It is so good that, at any hour during the day or night, if you want to go home or go to a certain place, there will be transport.
The nice thing about this place is once you're in Europe, you get so many opportunities for job offers. You also get an opportunity to travel around across Europe.